Let's talk about how your branded ads can have more impact and what you can do to connect with your audience. Common mistakes that we see a lot of brands make when it comes to advertisement is making their message too complex or their ads too difficult to understand. Especially for newer brands, if they haven't yet established themselves with a strong voice in their respective markets. You want a clear message and an ad that resonates with your audience, while at the same time making sure that they connect it to your brand. And one of the most common mistakes that we see in advertising, especially digital advertising, is overly complicated messaging and very noisy ad elements. If you are an emerging brand, you should embrace slightly more visually complex ads in order to boost trust. But don't confuse visually complex with complex messaging, as that will have the opposite effect. Visual complexity, or in simple terms, the amount of information that the viewer has to process, can be directly seen by looking at the cognitive demand score. For example, here are 3 ads, which all contain the same basic elements, but with very different levels of cognitive demand or complexity. Essentially, a too low or a too high score can cause the viewers to lose interest. The first ad is an example of a really simple ad with slightly too low complexity, while the next one is slightly too complex. With the balanced one here, you encourage the audience to think a little more, which will drive a stronger level of emotion towards the ad and towards the brand. With that said, we should of course always consider how other elements and other context plays in, how much attention other elements grab and their positioning. And the heat maps are great indicators to know where the focus goes. Striking a balance between too much and too little is quite easy with Predict. A quick bonus tip, which is relevant for all brands, is to never put your brand in the corner of death. The corner of death refers to the bottom right corner, which is the least desired place for a logo due to the lack of attention afforded that area. The average viewing time of an ad is only a few seconds, and because of how the majority of people scan ads with eyes from left to right, they're likely to miss the logo before either losing interest or something else catches our attention. Here is an example where different logo placements show just how much a slight change can make to your brand strategy. Using the start and end feature, you're also able to see where people's attention go first and where it shifts to within the first few seconds. Our research shows that when viewers recognize brand assets like logos and colors, it evokes positive emotions and leads to a higher interest. So let's look at this example of Salesforce, which is already an established brand that people recognize and have associations towards. If we focus on the logos to see exactly how much of the overall attention they get, it's a world of difference. In the first example, the logo takes up 1.1% of the total attention, while in the other version, it's 7.6%. That's an increase of more than 650%, which in turn will make for a more appealing ad. In other words, if the logo or name is the first thing that grabs attention, it paves the way for increased interest and engagement for the rest of your ad. Here is another great example from Starbucks. The ad is easy to decode with clearly defined elements. You immediately see the logo and you instantly recognize the brand. So to recap, bigger established brands should leverage their brand power, while smaller brands need to drive curiosity and earn trust by grabbing attention with more visually engaging content and of course storytelling. Oh, and avoid the corner of death. Make every second count. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.